I've tried a lot of morning routines. Face plunge in cold water, Tai Chi, a walk before the day started, journal before the coffee. Each one held for a stretch. None of them held forever. The reason wasn't willpower, it was the nights. Insomnia tangled with PTSD meant some weeks I was running on 2 or 3 hours of sleep. And there was a stretch in my life when the way I made sleep happen at all was drinking heavily enough to pass out without the nightmares. You can't build a 5 a.m. morning routine when you're surviving the night. Here's what I figured out across all of those attempts. I was scaling wrong. I was trying to add 90 minutes to a day that didn't have 90 minutes. And the routines I picked were built for someone else's life. Someone who slept clean and had quiet mornings and didn't carry what I carried into them. The routine that finally held had 2 things going for it. It was small, and it fit my actual life, not the one I was supposed to want. If you've been quitting morning routines for years and telling yourself you're the problem, you're not. The routine never fit. This is the version that does. The routine that survives a real life isn't impressive. It doesn't look good on Instagram. It doesn't make a great morning montage. It just runs every day, even on the bad ones. That's the whole point. Maintenance, not performance. And here's what nobody tells you. The reason your last routine fell apart wasn't a willpower problem. It was a fit problem. The routine assumed a version of your life you don't have. Different schedule, different responsibilities, different energy. The plan was wrong from day one. You just didn't have a framework to see it. I'm Tim Naylor, a certified peer specialist in mental health and substance abuse. This is Korvani, peer support for adults living real lives. Let's get into it. Let's redefine the word. A routine isn't a productivity stack. It's not a 5 a.m. wake up with a cold plunge and a journal. A routine is a maintenance schedule for your nervous system. 3 small anchor points across the day, every day, no matter what else is happening. The job of a routine is small. Keep the system running. That's it. Not transform, not reinvent, maintain. Think about it like this. You don't try to overhaul your car every morning. You change the oil, you check the tires, you put gas in. The maintenance is small and consistent, and that's why the car keeps running. Mental health works the same way. Sleep, connection, movement, and calm. The 4 pillars from video 1, those are the oil and gas. The routine is just how you make sure the maintenance happens. Most adults skip the maintenance, not because we don't care, because nobody told us a routine could be this small. We were sold the 90-minute version. We assumed if we couldn't do that, we couldn't do anything. So we did nothing, and the system slowly drained. The reframe is this. A routine that takes 30 minutes total, spread across 3 anchors, beats a 90-minute routine you abandon in 2 weeks. Every time. Consistency over intensity, small over impressive, real over Instagram. That's a routine that supports mental health. It maintains the system instead of trying to overhaul it. So why do most routines fall apart by week 3? One reason. They were built around who you wanted to become, not who you actually are. The aspirational routine looks like this. Wake up at 5 a.m., cold plunge, journal for 30 minutes, meditate, 90-minute workout, read a book, make a green smoothie, then start your actual day. It's beautiful. It's also 3 hours of unpaid labor before work, and it ignores everything about your real schedule, your real energy, and your real responsibilities. The aspirational routine is a fantasy of someone else's life. When you can't sustain it, that's not a willpower failure. That's the routine never fitting in the first place. You weren't built for someone else's morning. You were built for yours. The fix is to start with what's already true about your day. When do you actually wake up? What's the first 30 minutes look like now? When does the day usually drag? When do you actually wind down? Build the anchor points into those moments, not into a fantasy version where you have 3 free hours nobody else wants. A routine that fits beats a routine that impresses every single time. Here's where the work gets simple. You don't need to overhaul your day to support your nervous system. You need 3 small anchor points, 10 minutes each, that you can actually keep. Quick note before I give them to you. If this framework is landing, take 5 seconds to hit the like button. It tells YouTube to share this with someone else who's been quitting morning routines for years. And subscribe for the final video in the series, where everything ties together into a wellness plan. Okay, back to it. So let me give you the 3 anchors. Then we'll talk about how to build the first one this week without trying to do all 3. So here's the routine. 3 anchors. Each one is 10 minutes max. Anchor 1, the morning anchor. The first 30 minutes after you wake up sets the tone for the whole day. The single highest impact move is sunlight. Not coffee, not a phone scroll, sunlight in the first 30 minutes after waking. Even 5 to 10 minutes outside, No phone, just light on your face. Here's why it works. Your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that governs sleep, energy, and mood, runs on a light signal. When sunlight hits the retina in the first 30 minutes of being awake, your body releases cortisol at the right time. Cortisol gets a bad rap, but morning cortisol is what gets you out of bed and into the day. Sunlight also triggers a 14 to 16-hour countdown to melatonin release that night. So the move that helps your morning is also the move that helps your sleep. Same single anchor, two systems served. If sunlight isn't possible, bad weather, early shift, working night rotation, open all the curtains and stand near the brightest window. The point is, light on your eyes within the first 30 minutes. That's the anchor. The midday anchor. Somewhere between 12 and 2 p.m., take a 10-minute reset. Walk outside if you can. Stretch by your desk if you can't. Do something that isn't a task. Here's why this one works. Your nervous system runs in cycles of activation and recovery throughout the day. When you push through 5 or 6 hours straight without a break, the system can't downshift. It just stacks. By 3 p.m., you're not tired, you're depleted. By 5 p.m., you're not stressed, you're overloaded. The midday anchor is a hard cut between the morning load and the afternoon load. It tells your nervous system the day comes in two halves, not one continuous push. 10 minutes. Not your phone, not a podcast, just a reset. If you have to, set a 10-minute timer and call it a meeting. 3. The evening anchor. 60 minutes before you want to be asleep, the phone goes in another room. One calming thing. Same time window every night. That's the anchor. Here's why this one works. The blue light from screens suppresses melatonin. That's not opinion, it's measurable. But the bigger issue is the activation. Every scroll, every notification, every algorithm-driven hit of curiosity keeps your nervous system in alert mode. Your brain can't tell the difference between "this is interesting" and "this is something I need to respond to," so it stays awake. The phone in another room rule isn't about discipline. It's about removing the input the system can't ignore. The calming thing can be small. Reading 5 pages, stretching for 5 minutes, sitting outside. T. The point isn't the activity. The point is the signal. Your nervous system needs a clear message that the day is winding down. Without that signal, sleep stays shallow. With it, sleep deepens within a week. The phone in another room rule does most of the work. Most people can't stick to screen-free hour with the phone in the same room. So just don't have it in the same room. Removed friction beats willpower every time. 3 anchors, 30 minutes total. Sunlight in the morning. 10-minute reset midday. Phone away 60 minutes before bed. That's the routine.
Before we talk about how to build it, a note for the people the basic version doesn't fit cleanly. If you work shifts, overnight, swing, rotating, the morning sunlight anchor still works. Just redefine morning as the first 30 minutes after your wake up, whenever that lands. If you're up at 3 p.m. after a night shift, that's your light window. If you're a parent of young kids, your routine has to coexist with theirs. The midday anchor often gets eaten by school pickup or nap time. The fix is to take it where you can, not where the schedule says. 10 minutes in the car after drop-off counts. The 90-second stretch in the bathroom counts. Don't measure the anchor by purity, measure it by consistency. If you're in recovery, sleep, connection, movement, and calm are not optional. They're foundational. The evening anchor especially. Phone away 60 minutes before bed isn't a tip for you. It's a baseline that protects the work you've done all day. The framework adapts. The pillars don't. Here's the move that makes a routine stick. Pick one anchor. Just one. Don't try all 3 at once. The 3 anchor routine is the destination, not the starting point. Pick whichever one your lowest pillar from video 1 connects to. If sleep was your lowest pillar, start with the evening anchor. If movement was lowest, start with the midday anchor. If calm was lowest, the morning anchor probably moves the needle most. Do that one anchor for 14 days. No exceptions, but also no perfection. Miss a day, pick it back up the next morning. The 14-day window is where the anchor goes from thing I'm trying to thing I do. After 14 days, the next anchor gets easier because you have proof in your own body that this works. Then add the second anchor, another 14 days, then the third. By the end of 6 weeks, you'll have a 30-minute daily routine that runs on its own and supports your nervous system without you thinking about it. Don't add the next anchor until the current one is automatic. The most common mistake is stacking too fast. 3 anchors in week 1 means 0 anchors by week 4. 1 anchor for 14 days means a foundation you don't lose. Small, sustainable, layered. That's how a real routine gets built.
That's the routine. 3 anchors: morning sunlight, midday reset, evening phone away. 30 minutes total across the day, built around your lowest pillar from video 1. Pick 1 anchor first, 14 days. Then add the next. The final video brings everything together: pillars, triggers, toolkit, and routine, into your personal wellness plan. The map for how the next season actually goes for you. If you want the full version, anchor templates, a 6-week build calendar, and adjusted versions for shift workers, parents, and people in recovery, it's in the Korvani workbook at stan.store/Korvani. Link in the description. Subscribe to Korvani for the final video in the series. This is peer support, not therapy, not medical advice, not a replacement for clinical care. If you're working through depression that makes mornings feel impossible, or anxiety that disrupts sleep no matter what you do, those need clinical support alongside the routine, not instead of, alongside. A clinician can adjust the anchors to fit your treatment plan. If you're in crisis right now, call or text 988. I'm Naylor. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I see every comment.